An ignition system ballast resistor is a very crucial component in older ignition systems that is there to protect the ignition coil and point by reducing voltage after the engine starts. It's a very simple resistor. If you see one end is connected to this terminal, this is going to be connected to terminal 15, which is the IG terminal of the ignition switch, and then current has to flow through the resistor. If you see the resistor right here, it's a very simple resistor coil. It's a wire. Same thing right here, we have another ballast resistor. See, one end is here, the other end is there. It's a simple resistor, and that resistor is going to be connected in series to the primary winding. Current has to flow through the resistor and then comes to the ignition coil plus, then passes through the primary winding and exits the ignition coil to go to the contact points. Now, the duty is by simply inserting a resistor in series, we will reduce the voltage that will reach the ignition coil. So, this is basically done when the engine is running. When the engine is being cranked, however, we have a bypass circuit that will bypass the ballast resistor. You know, starter motors draw massive amount of electricity from the battery. In order to make available sufficient energy inside the ignition coil, the ballast resistor is bypassed. So this terminal is going to be connected to terminal 50 of the ignition switch. So when you crank, instead of receiving power from this, it will receive from terminal 50, which will directly bypass the ballast resistor and supply full battery power to the ignition coil. So the main duty is to protect the ignition coil during normal running. It will limit voltage that will reach the ignition coil after the engine is started and running. It will drop the voltage from the battery's nominal 12 volt to 8 to 9 volt. Somewhere around 8 to 9 volt is going to be supplied to the primary winding. This prevents the coil and breaker points from overheating and failing prematurely. So, for those ignition coils that are designed to be connected with a ballast resistor, it's very crucial that you always have a ballast resistor connected in series. Now, what are some of the symptoms that are indicated when the ignition coil ballast resistor fails? If the ballast resistor fails, the engine will start when you are cranking it. It will start. Then when you release the ignition key, it will turn off. Why? During cranking, like we said, it will be bypassed by connecting terminal 50 to here. But once the ignition key is released, it will be powered from this line, from terminal 15 of the ignition switch. 15. Terminal 15 is the IG terminal of the ignition switch. Now, if it is disconnected, usually what happens is the resistor, the coil, it will get fried and it will become broken. A failing ballast resistor can cause frustration, intermittent engine operation, and total engine shutdown once the ignition key is turned to on. So, if you have engine that is starting during cranking but comes off, turn off when you release the ignition key, if the engine will turn over but it won't fire up, this happens basically by a failing ballast resistor. If the engine starts immediately and then stalls, this is called problematic ballast resistor. This is the most classic symptom. The car starts perfectly because of the bypass circuit, but the moment you release the ignition key to the run position, the circuit is forced through the broken resistor, and that will cut power to the ignition coil, killing the engine. So this is very distinct symptom of a failing ballast resistor. Now, how can you inspect? Well, a very simple trick is to use a jumper wire. Simply connect a jumper wire from right here to right this point. Then when you connect the jumper wire from the ignition ballast resistor input to the output, if the engine runs normally, that indicates the ballast resistor is faulty. But remember, these ignition coils with ballast resistors are designed to receive 8 to 9 volt for the primary winding, so you should not be running the engine for a prolonged period. But momentarily, if you make a simple jumper wire and bypass this circuit for a very brief moment, you can figure out if the ballast resistor is faulty or not. But if you have a multimeter, you can measure resistance. Simply go ahead, place your multimeter on resistance setting, place it on a resistance setting, place it on the lowest ohm setting, and go ahead and measure the resistance. That is a very simple method of checking if you have a multimeter. Simply go ahead and measure resistance between the 2 points. One point right here, the other right here. Now it is reading 1.8 ohm for this particular, 1.7 ohm for this ballast resistor. If you find out it is reading open loop OL, it means it is broken. Similarly, for this ballast resistor also, you can go ahead and measure right here. It is reading 1.8 ohm. So this is how you can simply inspect a ballast resistor to see if it is continuous or not. So this is a very simple method of checking a ballast resistor. If you run a coil designed for a ballast resistor without a ballast resistor, as I have said earlier, it is designed to operate at 8 to 9 volt, but when you are powering it with the 12 volt, that will cause overheating of the primary winding, overheating of the contact points, and premature failure of those components. And if you are using a ballast resistor on an ignition coil that does not require a ballast resistor, that will highly reduce the spark strength. You will have very weak spark. Why? Because the ballast resistor will limit power supply to the ignition coil. Most modern cars with electronic ignition system controls, they do not use an external ballast resistor. So you will find these ballast resistors on classic cars, muscle cars, and most vehicles built before the mid-1980s. On cars that have them, they are usually a white ceramic, and if you turn it on the other side, you see there is a coil. It's a very resistor coil right here, you see. That is it. The ceramic is there to insulate and to dissipate heat as well. So this is very simple method of testing a ballast resistor. Why do we reduce the primary winding? You know, when it comes to coils, there is what we call a saturation current. Saturation current is when the current flowing through the coil reaches the maximum value. If the coil is very long, that time required to attain that saturation current is prolonged. If you use shorter length coil, that saturation current time will reduce. Now, when it comes to cars, because the contact points are opening at extremely high speed, there is very less time for energizing the primary winding. Now, if the coil is made extremely long, that will require much time for saturation. The contact point will open again before the coil reaches saturation. So what do? We reduce the primary winding length. And when you reduce length of a coil, the voltage carrying capacity will reduce. The voltage, when you supply 12 volt to a shorter coil, the coil will overheat. So what do? We insert a resistor in series. That will reduce the voltage that will reach the winding. Winding is basically intentionally reduced to make sure that the saturation is reached even at high engine speeds. Doing so will reduce the voltage carrying capacity of the coil. In order to compensate for that, we insert a ballast resistor in series. This is basically the main idea behind inserting a resistor in series to the ignition coil. Especially if one ignition coil is used for multiple cylinders, 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders. If you are using one ignition coil, you have very small time for saturating the primary winding. But modern engines are using multiple ignition coils, so there is nothing to worry about saturation time. But on old engines, where one ignition coil is operated for the entire engine, saturation is very critical. So if you find out that the ballast resistor is faulty, you must use the correct coil with your system. Using a coil designed for a ballast system without one will cause it to overheat and fail prematurely. We have said earlier that the primary winding for coils with ballast resistor is supposed to be powered by 8 to 9 volt. If you bypass it and run it continuously with 12 volt, that can cause overheating. Using a coil designed for a non-ballast system with a resistor will result in a very weak spark as well. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you in this video regarding a ballast resistor. If you find this video helpful and if you enjoy what has been presented, go ahead and smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.